The Florida Keys, a beautiful chain of islands at the southern tip of Florida, have always been a special place. Known for their relaxed island lifestyle, crystal clear waters, and unique mix of history and culture, the Keys have attracted people looking for a tropical escape. But over the past 10 years, life here has changed in big ways. Home prices have gone up, tourism has grown, and the effects of climate change are becoming more serious. While some people have found new opportunities, others are struggling to keep up with these changes. Let's take a look at how the Florida Keys have transformed over the last decade and what challenges they now face. If you wanted to buy a home in the Florida Keys 10 years ago, you would have paid a much lower price than today. In 2017, the average home cost around $570,000. Today, the average price has doubled to over $1 million. The reason is simple. There is very little land available to build new houses, and more people want to own property here. This has created a housing crisis, making it very hard for local workers like teachers and police officers to find affordable places to live. Another major change is the increase in vacation rentals. Many people buy homes here not to live in them, but to rent them out to tourists on websites like Airbnb. This has made it even harder for locals to find long-term housing because renting to tourists is much more profitable for property owners. Some renters have been forced to leave the Keys because they can't afford higher rents. A one-bedroom apartment in Key West that rented for $1,700 in 2015 now costs almost $3,000 per month. To help with this problem, new affordable housing projects have been built, such as Wreckers K Apartments on Stock Island. But with waiting lists that are years long, there still aren't enough homes for everyone who needs them. Because of rising home prices, the type of people living in the Keys is changing. More wealthy people are buying second homes, while many middle-class families are leaving. Many of the homes in the Keys, about 40%, are empty for most of the year because they belong to seasonal residents who only visit a few months at a time. In Key West, longtime residents, known as conks, are being pushed out of their historic neighborhoods. In places like Bahama Village, where Black and working-class families have lived for generations, new buyers are coming in and turning homes into vacation rentals or luxury properties. This has made it harder for local culture and traditions to survive. Tourism is the heart of the Keys economy. Visitors spend money at hotels, restaurants, and attractions, which helps businesses and creates jobs. In 2024, over 5 million tourists visited the Florida Keys, compared to about 3 million per year in 2010. Even the pandemic in 2020 only slowed things down for a short time. Tourism quickly bounced back and is now higher than ever. However, more tourists also mean more traffic, more crowded beaches, and higher costs for locals. The Overseas Highway, the only road connecting the Keys, is now at full capacity during peak travel times. Some people who live here year-round say they feel overwhelmed by the constant flow of visitors, making it harder to enjoy the quiet island life they once loved. Another concern is cruise ships. In 2020, Key West residents voted to limit cruise ship traffic because large ships were bringing too many people and harming the environment. However, Florida lawmakers later overturned the decision, showing how difficult it is for local communities to control tourism growth. Another issue is the growing threat of climate change. The Florida Keys are more at risk from climate change than almost anywhere else in the U.S. Since most of the land here is only a few feet above sea level, even small changes in ocean levels can cause serious problems. Scientists predict that sea levels will rise by up to 25 inches by 2035, which could make many roads and homes permanently flooded. Some neighborhoods, like Twin Lakes and Stillwright Point in Key Largo, already experience sunny day flooding, where streets are covered with water even when it's not raining. In 2019, Some areas were underwater for more than 90 days straight due to unusually high tides. To fight this problem, local officials have started raising roads in the worst-hit areas, but this costs millions of dollars and takes time. Hurricanes are also a huge threat. In 2017, Hurricane Irma caused massive damage to the Keys, destroying 25% of all homes and leaving thousands of people displaced. Because of this, insurance costs have skyrocketed. Windstorm insurance in the Keys now costs about 175% more than in other parts of Florida, making it even more expensive to live here. Some homeowners have been dropped by their insurance companies altogether. Housing isn't the only thing that's gotten more expensive. Everyday costs have gone up too. Groceries, gas, and utilities all cost more in the Keys than in most other places in the U.S. The overall cost of living in Key West is now 75% higher than the national average, with housing costs more than double the average. Many people who work in restaurants, hotels, and other service jobs can't afford to live near their jobs. Some commute from the mainland, which can take more than 2 hours each way. Others live in boats or share small apartments with multiple roommates just to afford rent. Despite these challenges, the Keys still offer a high quality of life for those who can make it work. Crime rates are low, the weather is warm year-round, and the community is full of history and culture. Fishing, diving, and boating remain everyday activities, and many people feel it's worth the financial struggle to live in such a beautiful place. As the Keys continue to change, the biggest question is how to balance growth while protecting the environment and keeping housing affordable. Florida officials are debating whether to allow more new homes to be built, but some worry this could make hurricane evacuations harder and put even more stress on the environment. At the same time, some locals are fighting for stricter rules on vacation rentals and stronger protections against climate change. Some believe the Keys are reaching a breaking point where only the very rich will be able to live here. Others think the community will adapt, as it always has, to new challenges. For now, the Florida Keys remain a place of both beauty and struggle. Those who stay must navigate rising costs, growing tourism, and environmental risks. But for many, waking up to a sunrise over the ocean, fishing in the Gulf, or enjoying a quiet night under the stars makes it all worthwhile. The next decade will determine whether the Keys can keep their unique charm while handling the challenges ahead. Can they remain a paradise for locals and visitors alike? That remains to be seen.